जय गोपी जनवल्लभा, जय गोपी जनवल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी, यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन, यमुनातीरवनचारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji, very nice. So devotees, let's move on to our Mangala Charan.
Prabhuji, can I read Prabhuji this today?
Sure.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnana Jana Salakiya Takshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Kurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Saguna Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपीसा गोपिका कंठ राधा कंठ नमस्तुते तप्त कंचना गौरंगी राधा वृंदावनेश्वरी कुसभानो सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. Thank you.
Very nice, Mataji. Haribol. So, devotees, we are toward the end of chapter 7, another very important chapter, the knowledge of the Absolute. We have about 2 more verses to go, 29 and 30 in chapter 7. So yesterday we read how, give me a second here. Let's see how I can. Yesterday we read how the living and Jivatmas have gone through, they might have, from the previous birth, they might have done something good, pious activities. And then they have continued the pious activities in this life also, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated. So this is what we have to concentrate on in this verse. Completely eradicated. Are we there? We are trying. So Krishna will help us. Definitely Krishna will help. But we need to have a very sincere effort, sincere mood to improve ourselves, how we can do it. And that comes through that is what the Krishna consciousness process is. We have to develop yesterday we little bit talked about Haridas Thakur, how just one pure devotee, great devotee, the purity and the bhakti, when it is combined, the Shuddha Bhakti, the Krishna Prema, can control anything in the world, anything. Even bad people, worst of the worst, they will get purified. So devotees, acharyas have said, one way of completely getting this, how can we be free from dualities, delusion? It's always there. All the time we are thinking, am I happy? I'm not happy. Am I successful? What is my life? What is my job? Am I doing the right thing or not? So there is always such thing there. Acharyas are recommending Sharanagati, just complete, dedication to Krishna. That is the best thing that can be done. So there is one nice kind of episode from Mahabharata when Krishna, he used to go to the flower garden. And in Krishna's time, all those flowers, birds, animals, rivers, mountains, they all used to talk to Krishna. And Krishna used to talk to them. Obviously, he is the Supreme Lord. And he would tell the flowers, oh, flowers, you're all so wonderful. I love you. And the flowers would also respond. They will bloom much bigger, much brighter to, please Krishna. And he would tell the bamboo that, you know what, unfortunately, I have to cut you into several pieces and maybe I have to make some holes. And then bamboo would ask, oh, Prabhu, is this really needed? He would say, yes. If you can withstand that, you will be eternally glorified. So Krishna would cut the bamboo and he'll put some holes. It's a very painful process for the bamboo. But the bamboo would, it has reached the level of complete surrender to Krishna. Whatever you want to do, Krishna, I'm your tool. Whatever you want to do with me, that's fine. So ultimately, Krishna would make a flute out of that bamboo. And as we know, devotees, that Murali, Krishna is called Murali Manohar, Muralidhar, Venugopal, and so on. That flute is eternal within. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, he will never be without the flute. And now the flowers would ask the flute, how did you get elevated to this level? Even Krishna would come and see us only in the evenings or maybe early morning. But with you, he's always there. He carries you all the time. So the moral of this kind of episode is that there is going to be some challenges. There is going to be a lot of, we may have to face all the difficulties in this Krishna consciousness path. But we have to learn, like the bamboo, we have to learn how to withstand that. And once if it is done, Krishna will definitely act. Krishna will not just give difficulty or calamities just like that. It is all for our purification only. Because ultimately our goal is to become perfect in Krishna consciousness. So devotees, having said that, let's move on to verse 29. Here also Krishna is going to talk about how intelligent people will seek his ultimately, they would surrender in devotional service to him. So devotees, let's read this, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 29.
I can try, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Please, Prabhu.
Jara morana mokshaya mam asrito itantit ye te brahma tad vidu krishnam adhatmam karma chakhilam. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Prabhuji. Devotees, shall we take two more? Two more devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then I will also try, Prabhuji. Jara marana mokshaya mama shritya yatanti ye te brahma tad vidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Devotees, one more. Maybe Pavan Prabhu, I'm seeing him. I believe he's here.
Yeah, Prabhu, I can read in about 5-10 minutes. I'm just about to reach home. I'm driving right now.
Oh,
In
no,
5 minutes, I will read the rest.
Prabhu, please concentrate on driving. Don't get distracted. Be safe, drive safe. Yeah, and you can join us. No problem. Devotees, one more.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Jara Marna Mokshaya Mamashritya Yatantiye Te Brahmatat Vidhu Krishnam Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam.
Haribol Prabhu. Devotees, synonym translation, one devotee can read. Purport, maybe we can split into two. One of us can read the first paragraph, the other one can read the other two paragraphs. Indra Mataji, you want to read the synonym translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm in the car too, but that's fine. Jara from old age, Marana and death, Moksha for the purpose of liberation, Mam, me, Asritya, taking shelter of Yatanti, endeavor, all those who take such persons, Brahman, Tat, actually, that Vidu, they know Krishna, Krishnam, everything, Adhyamam, transcendental, karma, activities, cha, also Akshayam entirely. Translation. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They're actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very good. Dear devotees, this is also a very nice verse. Here it is Brahma. It is not Brahma. Brahma is Lord Brahma. This is Brahma means the Brahman, the soul. So it almost, there is always a confusion. Sometimes, we all read it as Brahman also. But what they normally do for Brahmana, who is Vaishnava, they would normally put a Brahmana. And this one, Brahma. Brahma meaning they would have put an upper stroke, the symbol they would have put. So if it is no stroke on the top, the upper stroke, then it says Brahma, which is Brahman. Okay, but very nice, Mataji. Who can read the purport, devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Okay.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Birth, death, old age, and diseases affect this material body, but not the spiritual body. There is no birth, death, old age, and disease for the spiritual body. So, one who attains a spiritual body becomes one of the associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages in eternal devotional service is really liberated. Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit. It is said that one should understand that he is Brahman, spiritual soul. This Brahman conception of life is also in devotional service, as described in this verse. The pure devotees are transcendentally situated on the Brahman platform and they know everything about transcendental activities.
Very, very, very nice, Mataji. Can another devotee read the next two paragraphs?
I can read the four kinds of impure devotees who engage themselves in the transcendental service of the Lord achieve their respective goals. And by the grace of the Supreme Lord, when they are fully Krishna conscious, they actually enjoy spiritual association with the Supreme Lord. But those who are worshippers of demigods never reach the Supreme Lord in his supreme planet. Even the less intelligent Brahman, realized persons, cannot reach the supreme planet of Krishna known as Goloka Vrindavan. Only persons who perform activities in Krishna consciousness, mam asritya, are actually entitled to be called Brahman because they are actually endeavoring to reach the Krishna planet. Each persons have no misgivings about Krishna and thus they are factually Brahman. Those who are engaged in worshipping the form of Archa of the Lord, or who are engaged in meditation on the Lord simply for liberation and for material bondage, also know by the grace of Lord the purports of Brahman, Adibhuta, etc., as explained by the Lord in the next chapter. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. What I can understand from here is that Prabhupada is explaining that um, in this material world, this body that we have, that is affected by birth, death, old age, and disease. And people who are intelligent, they will strive to not have this material body and to have like a spiritual body that does not have all these old age, birth, death, disease, etc. And they when they have that spiritual body, when they receive that spiritual body, they are eternally serving the Lord. And then he goes on to explain that um, I am the spirit. So uh, I'm not sure I follow that, but I think he's saying Prabhupada means that we are all spirits in true nature. In reality, we are not this material body. Um, and then people who who become aware of the Brahman, they know everything about the transcendental activities. And then he says that there are four kinds of devotees who engage in service to the Lord. Some are doing that for just increasing their wealth and material bondage. Some are doing just out of love for the Lord to reach the Goloka Vrindavan and his and that is Krishna's abode. And only people who perform activities in Krishna consciousness, they are truly really called the Brahman. And then in the last paragraph, he goes on to explain that worshipping of Archa or the deity worship of the Lord, or people who are engaged in meditation, um, just for liberation and not for any material gains or wealth or anything as such. Those are the true real devotees who are able to reach Goloka Vrindavan. Prabhuji, I think I understood this much. You can explain more. Right.
Yeah, you got the essence, the gist of the purpose, nothing. That's good. Only thing, it is not four class of devotees. Prabhupada is saying four kinds of impure devotees. Meaning, people, those devotees, even though they start, they have not become very pure. It's a process. So, and devotees, I recommend one more time, start saying this as Brahman, not Brahman. Because when you try to discuss this with other people, or you want to quote some, references, many at times outside our, devotee circle, they may not understand. They may think we are talking about Brahmana. So we should say this as Brahman. Again, if it is of Brahman, there would have been an upper stroke on the top, above the top. Like here, can you see? It's not mum, it is mom. Ma, you have to extend that. Same thing here. If it is of Brahman, they would have put one stroke like that, about A. So this is Brahman. Brahman, Brahma means when it get extended in the end, it is Lord Brahma. When you just say Brahma or Brahman, it is the soul. It is not a very technical, we are not scholars or technical expert, but at the same time, it helps us to in discussion with others. But you got the gist, Mataji.
Thank you for explaining, Prabhuji. Thank you for explaining the difference also, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, but these are all good. For example, when we say Radha, we don't say Radha. So even in our Mangalacharan, we would see that Radha, there would be an upper stroke. This helps us. Okay, devotees, any more thought? We are slowly at the end of this very wonderful chapter. Krishna has gone through quite a few things, starting from his different energies, then the different personalities. How shall we approach him? The four types of people who don't approach him, the four types of people who approach him but not fully, they have been purified. Then out of that jnani, how Krishna is very dear to them and they are very dear to Krishna, is the one who can do everything with a devotional mood. So he is extending that. He's talking about also, especially in this one, Jara and death. There are so many people, they come to a stage in their life, they might have some Jara is old age, Marana is these two, or everybody has to face this, most people. So they come to the point of liberation. At that time, they also understand about Brahman. It's very important that unless we also understand, that's not our ultimate goal, but we have to understand that we are soul. Aham Brahmasmi. That's why Srila Prabhupada is saying here. This is also important. Unless you are 100% convinced about this philosophy, this principle, then everything else becomes little, it doesn't make much sense. If I'm not eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna, why should I do all this thing? There's nothing called, after what is my eternal position. Then we fall into another philosophy. I just come, I just perform, that's it, my job is done. That's not like that. We have an opportunity to get liberated. Devotees, please share more thoughts. I know there are our Venkatesh Prabhu, Subal Prabhu is there. Our Venkatesh Prabhu, anything you want to say, Venkatesh Prabhu?
Prabhu, this is
Hare
Pawan.
Krishna Prabhuji. I'm actually outside, so I won't be able to share much.
Okay.
But yes, as Shalini Mataji explained, yes, birth, death, old age, and disease, these are for every jiva that's born in this material world. They have to go through all this, and so to escape this, one has to surrender completely to the spiritual Lord uh, without any, what do you say, uh, motives for themselves, selfish motives, in other words. So, yes, so slowly one has to develop this. So, yes, Prabhuji, this is my small understanding.
Okay, very nice, Prabhuji. More comments? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Please.
So I'd like to add that here Prabhupada is explaining in the purport about the devotees who are not impersonalist because they know the devotional service. Please correct me, Prabhuji, I'm wrong. and then but they want to liberate themselves to get rid of this material body, this because this body has old age, diseases, birth, death, etc. So that's why they want the spiritual body, the devotees, and to serve with the Lord and to associate with the Lord. So we know there are 5 kinds of muktis, liberation: sarupya, sayujya, samipya, saloka, and sarshti. So sayujya mukti means that merging to the Lord's body, and but this Brahman is that devotees who wants the liberation, want to go back to the Godhead, do not want to come back. So there are another type of devotees, pure devotees, who wants to serve the Lord birth after birth, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his Sharanagati, that book. He wrote the song, জন্মাও বি মোরে ইচ্ছা যদি তোর ভক্ত গৃহে প্রভু জন্ম হয় মোর. So if you want me to take birth again, to give me birth in a devotee's family, so that I can serve you. So that's the devotee's wish, so, like to come back life after life to serve the Lord. And but here the Brahman mentioned to those pure devotees who wants to serve the Lord by going to the Krishna loka and with the association, like they want sarupya, salukya, those kind of liberation, right, Prabhuji? Sarshti, I just would like to understand that. Is there what is
not,
the difference?
not necessarily, Mataji. Not necessarily, but your concept is correct. The devotees are not really looking for what is called as a moksha. Meaning, like Mataji was saying, that I have to reach only Goloka Vrindavan and I will serve the Lord only in Goloka Vrindavan. That is not the mood. Srila Rupa Goswami said that our eternal mood should be a purified devotee mood, is just to serve Lord wherever it is.
Yes, that's what Prabhuji said. That's what I said. 2 types of pure devotees. One wants the liberation, go back to Godhead, and the other pure devotees, they are desired to come life after life to this material world and serve the Lord. Not like they want liberation from the material
I know,
world.
but that also, I don't think devotees ask like that. They may, some very highly elevated, in fact, one time Srila Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, would you again reappear? He said that, yes, I'm going to go and purify all the lower lokas. Patala, I'm going to go there and purify very bit. So those are all high, very elevated devotees. I think for in our level, we should just surrender to Krishna wherever he thinks we fit. Whether we have to appear again, or if we have to be with him in Goloka, that itself is a very great thing.
Yes.
Coming back is a very, very high level of Krishna Prema, is the purest form. Of course, unless you get to that stage, you won't be even able to get into Krishna Loka. But even there are some, variations. So some, as you said, they may have a very strong feeling that Krishna, give me another opportunity. I want to really go back to other, lower platform. Because anything you come below Krishna Loka is all lower platform, wherever you are. That is the highest. So, yeah, that is also very, very... Krishna will... I think we have to go with the Srila Rupa Goswami's suggestion. We just surrender. Krishna, do whatever, like the bamboo, I was saying. Just give it to Krishna. Krishna can do... If he has to put us through more experiences, great devotees, Prahlad Maharaj had gone through all challenges. But, that is a very transcendental activity at that time. But you are right, Mataji. Very nicely you explained the 5 types of mukti. Devotees, have we heard about something called Mukti Bhavan? Has anyone heard?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Would you like to share something, Prabhu, on that?
So, Prabhuji, what I have heard is, generally in Kashi, there is a place where Mukti Bhavan, they go there to leave their body. That's what I heard, Prabhuji, because in the last days, it is said that if you leave your body in Kashi, you directly go back, to the Godhead. And I think there is a kind of hospital. Some people say it's a hotel, but basically a shelter. People come there to leave their body. That's what I heard, Prabhuji.
Haribol Prabhuji. Yes, there is it's kind of what they call as it's not an hospice. It is called the Mukti Vihar or Mukti Bhavan, or it's also called Moksha Bhavan. So, as Prabhuji mentioned, it is in Varanasi. There, it was formed by a person, an Indian entrepreneur, and his goal was to give an opportunity to people who are going to leave their body, and they got some strict regulation. You can stay in that Moksha Bhavan only for 2 weeks, not more than that. After 14 days, you have to vacate the place because there is so much demand. And if somebody is not able to leave their body within 14 days, they have to vacate the place, maybe come back again, or they have to find for another shelter. But the idea is, from how can I get, mokshaya? Krishna even saying, how do I get mokshaya from this, jara, vyadi, janma mrityu, jara, vyadi? How do I get liberation? But we have already discussed. Our liberation is surrendering to Lord Krishna. But there are some people that they say that, okay, let me go to a very sacred place. Varanasi, Kashi is considered as a very sacred place for various purposes. Lord Vishnu had set his foot there in the Gaya. Gaya, the river, is considered as one of the holiest. And there are many, many people who kind of immerse their ashes of whoever has left their body in their family in a particular spot in Gaya. There are boats, they will take you to one particular spot. It's considered, and it has got also relevance to Lord Buddha. It's got relevance to Lord Shiva. So it is considered as a very auspicious place. Srila Prabhupada also, we cannot put him into discussion for this word. He is very elevated. Like Bhaswati Mata was saying, he may come back again to, purify us. But even he said that I would like to go back to Vrindavan. I want to be with, Radha Govinda. I want to be with the Krishna Balaram. So that was his desire. So that is also, Krishna, from what we are learning here, that's okay. But the main thing is our consciousness, devotees. We can be anywhere. We can be in USA, we can be in India, we can be in any part of the country, any part of the world. But the main thing is that, am I able to come to the perfect level of this Brahman platform is one thing. Here, why Krishna is talking about the Brahman is that the devotees also understand the Brahman platform. He's not recommending that that's what we should do. But devotee also understand that we are Brahman, part and parcel of Krishna. That's a very, very deep understanding. Many people may not understand that we are part, and they may stop at Brahman platform. But here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the pure devotees are transcendently situated on the Brahman platform, and they know about all the transcendental activities. So we also understand Aham Brahmasmi. But that is not the ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal is surrendering to Krishna. So more thoughts, Indra Mataji, Shalini Mataji, any more question or thoughts? If not, we can go to the next verse and complete this chapter.
Prabhuji, can you explain a little bit more when you said we are situated in a Brahman platform?
The Brahman platform is the self-realization platform. They have detached whatever Krishna has been telling in chapter 7, mostly they have accomplished that. They don't have dualities. They have detached themselves. They have become very selfless. They have purified their consciousness. But that does not, they may go to Brahma Jyoti at the most. That's why Prabhupada is saying here. So in this Aham Brahmasmi level, the Jnani, he understands that he is part and parcel of this Brahman. Brahman is everywhere, all providing Brahman. The Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, these are all one and the same, like the sun and the sunshine. You cannot separate that. Once if you separate, it will lose its quality. Krishna is like that. Krishna is Brahman and is Paramatma, but ultimately the highest level of understanding is Bhagavan. So, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Prabhuji. So in that part, what he's trying to explain is that in people who reach that Brahman stage, but they don't have Sharanagati, they are not able to go back to Krishna look. Is that what he's really trying to like explain the difference?
Correct. They are not able to because they are not. They did not understand Krishna fully. They will. I mean, what we understand from the Shastras and the Acharyas is that at the most they can reach the Brahma Jyoti or even Satyaloka. We don't know. That depends on how elevated their consciousness are. But Krishna Loka is a very special abode only for devotional service. If somebody does not want devotional service, they may go to Brahma Jyoti. They can. But that is in a much lower platform. So as devotees, what we are saying is that we want to serve Krishna. We are not even looking for moksha. We are beyond the expectation of moksha. Our only goal in this very purified, highly elevated consciousness, all we are asking is that, Krishna, give me the opportunity to serve you.
And by serve you, we really mean like, the society really, right? Everyone, because in everyone's, soul, there is Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. So what is the question?
So like, I'm just trying to understand. So like, basically, we have, when we aim to go to Goloka Vrindavan, then essentially we have to provide service, selfless service to the society at large, and not be and not want to enjoy the fruits by ourselves, separate from Krishna.
Those are all good, Mataji. Those are all very, very nice, very highly elevated position, no doubt. But are we creating this Krishna prema? That is the main thing. When you get detached, or you also getting attached to Krishna, that's the main process in Krishna consciousness. If you're getting just detached, you'll become a jnani, no doubt. You may reach some higher level, no doubt about that. But we want to reach the highest level of being with Krishna, serving Krishna. So detachment is good. But Krishna consciousness is about attachment to Krishna. Does it make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Detachment is good. They will also be elevated. But attachment to Krishna through pure devotional service will take us to Goloka Vrindavan. Or as Baswati Mataji was saying, You will get an opportunity to come back and be in that perfect consciousness and, spread Krishna consciousness, glorify Krishna. But if you don't have that desire, Mataji, ultimately what we understand from the Shastras and even through this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is going to satisfy whatever we want. If you want to be in Satyaloka, he will facilitate, depending on how you perform. It's not just, I want to be in Satyaloka, but if you have not been detached, if you're not selfless, you got a lot of dualities, you will not be allowed to go there. Even in Satyaloka, you cannot go. Swargaloka, you cannot go. For everything you must have done some. That is why in 28 also, he said that, Srila Prabhupada is saying that based on the karma, somewhere karmanam, whose previous activities. So based on all our activities, it depends. He's giving us that's what we talked about yesterday also, the free will. Are we going to use this free will? I'll be a perfect human being. I'll be selfless. I'll be very detached. Yes, you'll be a very highly elevated soul. You can go to Brahmajyoti. You can. But if you concentrate on Krishna, that is what Srila Prabhupada is also explaining here. The pure devotees understand that also. We understand, yes. You have to be all detached, selfless, everything, but we are going to be very attached to Krishna. Then we go back to the Bhagavan aspect. Otherwise, we are stuck with the Brahman realization. That is what we have to, we have a choice. Krishna is not stopping us. And if you are not going to think about any of this, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, we come back here, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, eternal. Right? Krishna says, what is that? Manushyanam Sahasreshri, thousands and thousands of birth you can take. But after that, a person realizes about Krishna, that he gets elevated. So it's up to us. If we don't want to think about Krishna, we can still attain. We can get a very good life. Maybe next birth, will be born in a very, good family. We read that, all those things, right? Aristocratic family. We may be born in a wealthy family. We can again take birth in a devotional family also. But that's not the point. The key point here is that, do we want to completely realize Krishna and surrender to him? And if you do that, you're automatically understanding Brahman, you're automatically understanding Paramatma, you are reaching the highest level.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you for explaining, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prema. We need to generate Krishna Prema in our heart. That's most important. Then Krishna will decide where he will take us. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we need Krishna Prema. That is the highest. See, Mataji, I think one time I had a slide. It is there on Google. If you 9 steps of bhakti, there it is not. Everybody is not in the same level. What Srila Prabhupada has done, perfect Krishna consciousness, and what I am doing is like sky and lower lokas. There is no comparison. He's in the highest platform. But I'm also trying to be a devotee. He's a very, very, expert devotee, purified devotee. So it's a process. So Krishna Prema is considered as the highest level, where you have gone through all this purification, anarthas, you leave it out. First of all, Srila Prabhupada always used to say, first you have to become a good human being. In Bengali, used to say, you have to become a Bodhrolo. First of all, a decent human being. Even if you're not that, even if you're trying to do all this thing with all the anarthas in your mind, our progress will be very, very slow, even though we are in Krishna. So the process here is to purify. How fast can I purify? So there are steps, you start with Shraddha, which I think most of all of us have here. and then, sadhu sangha, bhajana, kriya. Then you go step by step, you then remove all the anarthas, then you build a taste for Krishna, then asakti, and then Krishna Prema. Pure blissful love that all the Brajavasis as demonstrated, and she is the complete coordinator, controller of the Krishna Prema, Srimati Radharani. We have to satisfy her. If she is satisfied, yes, Shalini Mataji from New Temple, she's very, very pure. That's it. But we have to go to that level.
Thank you for explaining and spending the time to make sure that I can understand.
Yeah, Brahman is good. Many people, they don't want to think about Paramatma or Krishna. They say, Brahman is the purest. If I can understand that, my life, the purpose of my life is done. Good. There's nothing wrong in that. Why? Why not Bhagavan? When we have the opportunity, instead of concentrating the opportunity on Brahman, why not we just concentrate on Krishna? Right? Brahman doesn't have a name. Brahman doesn't have a form. It's Krishna only. But why not we just surrender to the, Bhagavan? Who is the source?
Definitely, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir, devotees. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Is Krishna is repeatedly saying that surrender to me. You don't have to do anything else. Right? And understand. And it's very clear that Bahunam Janmanamante, which came in this chapter, Vasudeva Sarvamiti is giving his own name as a reference. Understand, he's not saying Brahman is a Sarvamiti. He says in the previous chapters, in chapter 3, he's also glorifying the Brahmarpanam, Brahmavir. He says Brahman is everything. But slowly he's taking the reader, in this case Arjuna. Arjuna is a very elevated personality. But because of him, we are getting this opportunity to listen to the Supreme Lord. He's taking it and finally become his devotee, worship him, always think about him and surrender to him. That's it. He, in the last verse, is not saying surrender to Brahman or Paramatma. He's not saying that. He's saying surrender to me. Because he's giving such a big opportunity to especially want to follow the devotional path. We have a choice. We don't have to do that. Krishna, I don't think it's too much for me thinking about you. I just want to do Aham Brahmasmi. Think about Brahman. In that way, I don't have to chant. I don't have to think about your beautiful Shamasundara form. I don't want to know too much about your Leelas. Janma karma chame divyam. Krishna says that the person who can understand my appearances and my Leelas is already in a spiritual platform. Amazing, right? Just by listening, Krishna Katha, just by understanding, wow. Or you can be here, Aham Brahmasmi. So is our Pawan Prabhu is able to share something? Or
No, I think everybody covered the most of it. I was going to say somebody also said the same thing. So, but yeah, I think the overall gist of it is, we first we need to look inwards. That is the beginning of the journey. As we get more inwards and become a better human being, the automatically we will fall in the right path, and that will lead us to and with all the education that we get about Krishna, the overall Krishna love and the whole purpose of our life has to become Krishna. That will get us to where we need to be.
very nice, Prabhuji. In all those path devotees, the understanding, realization of Brahman realization of Paramatma, realization of Bhagavan. Most of the process is the same. You cannot be filled with dualities and what is called the durbhavana, right? You have all the anarthas and always thinking ill about everything. You will not be successful in Brahman level. Definitely, you will not qualify for Paramatma and no chance with Krishna. So these are all prerequisite for all understanding. But Krishna is the highest. That is why he keeps on saying that just understand me and understand my qualities. We can also understand the devatas. We can be with them, which he has clearly explained. If somebody wants to be with the devatas, I want to be in Swargalok, I want to enjoy, go, you can enjoy. But everything has got a time. You have to again come back. So it's up to you. What do you want to do? Subal Prabhu, any final thoughts? I think we have one more verse. I don't think we'll be able to complete it today because it's also quite a very significant verse. Krishna is going to say that those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord,
Yes, Prabhuji, you can cover this tomorrow.
Yep. Prabhuji, I can share one more thought.
Please.
When you had mentioned, right, the first thing we have to become is a good human being, right? So I was listening to another, a video on meditation, and what again it kind of helped me put in perspective how to do it. Right? We always think like, hey, how do I become a better human being? So in that, how I understood is like as human beings, everything for us starts from a thought. Thoughts become words, then words become actions. So the goal would be to kind of nip it at the bud, right? So get your thoughts. When you get a thought, you try to analyze the thought, and the thought is in say three forms generally. It is either tamas, rajas, or sattva guna. And if you are able to get into that, the a perspective of analyzing your own every thought that comes to you, and you understand whether just analyze it and say that if this thought is a rajas thought or a tamas thought or a sattva thought. And then if in the beginning maybe we are not able to get there, but over a period of time our mind has to become trained in such a way that we are automatically choosing all our thoughts to be sattva thoughts, and that will kind of get us to a state where at least we become a good human being, which is the beginning of our journey towards Krishna consciousness.
Very correct, Prabhu. That is what is actually Krishna consciousness. This entire path. Only thing is that it kind of expedites the process. We can sit down without thinking about Krishna. We can try to purify our thoughts. It becomes very difficult because there is no concentration, first of all. We don't know why we are doing it. I want to control. The modern society is that's what they're trying to do. There are motivational speakers, there are, management philosophers, they are stress relievers, stress management. They're all saying the same thing. How you can, get away from all this negative thinking and come to positive and things like that. But this is a very easy process as recommended by Krishna himself. He's saying, think about me. That's the best part about Bhagavad-Gita. Krishna himself is coming, is saying, think about me and do everything. There are many, many verses that's going to follow. He's going to very clearly say, Manmana bhavam madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. This is repeated twice. One on chapter 9 and then at the end, chapter 18. So he's saying, Manmana bhava madbhakto. As you're saying, sattva, how do you concentrate your mind on sattva? Krishna is saying, concentrate about me. He is the controller of the sattva. He is the ultimate source. right? So it becomes much easier. Otherwise, we can try by ourselves. I want to be a good human being. I don't want to think about negativity. I don't want to develop envy, jealous. We are almost time, Prabhu. There is one very interesting episode in Mahabharata. Dronacharya, who is the guru of Pandavas and Kauravas, he would call Yudhishthir one day. He would say, I'll give you 5 days. Within 5 days, you have to tell me if there are any evil-minded people in Hastinapur. Yudhishthir would say, okay. And then he would call Duryodhana. He would say, I'm going to give you 5 days. You have to come up with a list of people who are good people. Okay. On the 6th day morning, both of them would come. Yudhishthir would say, Gurudev, I could not find anybody bad. I think everybody is good in Hastinapur. And Dronacharya said, yes, okay, it's good to know. Then Duryodhana says, Gurudev, I could not find even a single good guy. Everybody is a bad guy in Hastinapur. So what this shows is that it is the mentality, it is the realization of Yudhishthir and Duryodhana. Duryodhana's mind is impure. So he looks at everything as impure because he did not consider Krishna. Very simple. If he had taken Krishna a little, because they were together, right? Krishna is also cousin to Kauravas and Pandavas. And they had a lot of interaction. But he rejected Krishna at every point. Whereas Yudhishthir, he took up Krishna, as his ultimate savior. His consciousness was very pure. So the easiest way to become ourselves purified mentally, bodily, physically, thoughts, as you were saying, is just to think about Krishna. Krishna will remove everything, all the anarthas. And it needs our effort also. I'm not saying that you should not meditate. It's good. But a meditation upon Krishna is recommended. It will be much faster. Is it okay, Prabhu? Is it reasonable?
Yeah. Understood, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Devotees, 9. The time is 9. Why not we take one final comment from one of us? If anybody wants to say anything. Subal Prabhuji, anything final thought?
No, Prabhuji, you covered everything. But today I was listening to Nayanabram Prabhuji. One thing he mentioned is, as you mentioned, devotees always, are looking for good. And also, the pure devotees, doesn't matter where they are, they always want to serve. Prabhuji was giving an example of Chiket Maharaj. He was cursed by Mother Parvati. But then Lord Shiva mentioned that the devotees of the Lord, doesn't matter even if you curse, they are always happy because they know that wherever they go, they do seva. It doesn't matter heaven or hell or anywhere, they always want seva. So, in fact, and for the pleasure of the Lord, they can do anything. And one other example was like Rajvasis, of course, they are very elevated. For a moment of pleasure for Lord Krishna, they were ready to go to hell as well, giving dust of their lotus feet. So at the end of the day, they don't desire any liberation, but at the same time, they always want to be in the service of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhuji. That's a very good point. We have to, this entire Krishna consciousness, as suggested by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, is the mood of Brajavasis. That is the mood, exactly. Krishna himself comes in the mood of, Srimati Radharani. And that is what we are trying to do. But we don't have that kind of a conducive situation right now. So many distractions. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has only recommended that chanting is the best thing. This Mahamantra, it will purify your body, your mind, your thoughts, everything. That's the best thing to do in this particular moment. So why not we all chant, devotees, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So devotees, but Pawan Prabhu, good thoughts. I definitely agree that we need some kind of a medication. We have to purify ourselves, no doubt about it. But this will make it much faster. It will expedite the process.
Prabhuji, can you share any tips on meditating upon Krishna? Like when you say when we do our chanting, we should be meditating on Krishna, right? But like, how do we get to that phase where we can actually like see him while we are chanting?
Okay, why not we keep that for tomorrow, if that's okay? But what Srila Prabhupada, all the acharyas have recommended is that this chanting is a direct communication with Krishna. So we have to also improve our quality of chanting. Meaning, it is just not mechanical. Somehow I have to complete, whether it is 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16. That's also good. Quantity also matters, But quality also is very significant. Each time when we say Hare, are we thinking about Srimati Radharani? When we say Krishna, are we really thinking about Krishna? And when we say Rama, are we really thinking about the Lord Rama, or the energy of Krishna? Ramanti Yogino Anante, right? So are we doing that, or are we doing mechanical? How do you do, Mataji? I'm not close to even that. I'm just asking. You can share. So
Try, but I cannot I don't know how to see him, Krishna, when I close my eyes and I chant. I try, but it isn't however much I try, it's not coming.
Okay, what we will do, one of this class, there are one Acharya in the Gaudiya Parampara is given a very nice explanation how to chant. When we say Hare Krishna, what should be our mood? He suggested for all, he has split that Acharya, this entire 16 words, he has split that into groups of 2. Hare Krishna, he's saying the first Hare Krishna, seek for Shabda. Ask Krishna, Krishna, please give me faith. Please develop more purify my faith in you, my love on you. Then the second Hare Krishna is like, Krishna, you are in this Mahamantra. Kalikale Namarupe Krishna Avatara. You're seeking the blessing from Krishna. Krishna, this mantra is none other than you. Please allow me to say it properly, nicely, with good consciousness. Like this. Then the Hare Krishna, then the next Krishna is that you are seeking the blessing from all the Acharyas. Acharyas, please bless me. I'm not capable of doing this. By my own, we won't be able to do it. Our mind is going all over the world. So we won't be able to think. So like this, it is a very interesting thing. I have the slide, but I don't think it will be, we are already out of time.
We can give it another day, probably maybe tomorrow. I actually wanted to listen to that story from Shabri also that you were going to share. Maybe tomorrow or whenever you lead the next session.
Right. We will do that. Okay. Devotees, it is 9:08 almost. I think we should conclude here and we shall resume tomorrow. Have a wonderful Krishna consciousness evening. We shall see you tomorrow. Vanchakalpatrabhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. ISKCON Temple Sankirtana ki jai. ISKCON Temple Bhagavadgita study ki jai. All those possible devotees. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Sri Ram Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare